to Mate TV. I'm glad you are there once again today. It's your regular program, your opinion. What are we considering today? We are considering this topic. Is English a measure of intelligence? Do you think so? What's your opinion? Kindly let's have your opinion in the comment section. Also, don't forget to subscribe. Alright? Turn on the notification button so that you can have the first alert when we post and upload new videos. Thank you once again. Welcome to Make TV. We'll be right back. Thank you once again for being there. Welcome back. My name is Lovely Kerry, your anchor on your opinion. And I'm here today with
Moses Uba.
Moses Uba and welcome on the show. Thank
Thank
you guys for coming. All right, viewers, thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe to encourage us to do more. Thank you. We are considering this topic is English, a measure of intelligence. Who are the original speakers of English? The British, the United Kingdom. Yes, the United Kingdom are the main speakers of English. Then the US, USA was once under
Clones.
the the United Kingdom, so they're under England, right? So they also speak English. Yes, and English is also adopted in Nigeria,
Mm-hmm.
not for the fact that we were colonized by Britain, but then that we have diverse languages, so English is adopted in Nigeria as our lingua franca.
Mm-hmm.
So all our educational instructions is done in English. We also have some other countries too that speak English. India also uses English,
Yeah.
South Africa, and some countries. However, there are other countries who did not adopt English, who use their own language, like the Chinese,
Yeah.
the Korean, the France also. Yes, and some
The Arabs,
countries
Arabic
colonized
nations.
by them, Japan, even Arabs, and Russia. Yes, Russia use their own. Even Germans. Yes, Germans. Yes, pass their own instruction to it. Yes, Dutch. All of them. They all use their. They all use their Spanish too. Yes,
Latin.
yes, Latin. Yes, Latin. That's part of America, right? All
Mhm.
right. They use other languages. All right, but I think many countries use English also. Many countries use English. Now, here is the question staring at us: is English a measure of intelligence? That is, if someone now speak, if someone speak,
English.
yes, if someone speaks English fluently,
Mm-hmm.
all right, is that a measure of intelligence? And we say truly this person has something upstairs. He's brilliant, he's intelligent because he speaks fluently.
Yes, I would say yes to that because in Nigeria, here in Nigeria, and some African countries, is an official language, and then it's so much important to the extent that it's an instructional language. That's the language that is being used to communicate in school, like to teach students in school, is so important to the extent that if you don't pass English language, you don't make at least a credit in it, you can't further your education. It's that bad. And then those days in the university in year one, there is a course you must do. It's called general. It's a general
Use of
course.
English.
Use of English. Everybody must do it. Whether no matter the course you come to study in the university, you must do that use of English, GSS. And then if you don't pass, you're not moving. You will keep carrying over the course until you pass. So English is so important that there is no sector, no level of education in Nigeria that would manage any candidates. They can't manage any candidate that had a poor performance in English language. Even in some schools these days, some primary schools and secondary schools, you can fail any other subjects. But if you fail English language, you can't be promoted to the next class.
English and maths.
So if English and maths in particular, two of them in particular, so why is it that way? That means they see it as a measure of intelligence. So we here in Nigeria, because of it's now our language, we have to adopt it. We adopted it as an official language, and then it's an instructional language. Is more like a mother language, and then you can't do anything serious with anybody, even serious business, without English language in Nigeria. So for you to be, let me say you are from an Igbo tribe, and then you now find yourself in another part of the nation, like in the northern area or in the western area, you have to be able to communicate in English language. If you cannot, you won't be able to flow. You will be lost, because you will not be able to understand their language, and you can't understand theirs.
Okay, Moses, what's your opinion?
I believe English is overrated. English is overrated. In Nigeria, in the world, it's just overrated. Down to, you talked about our academics,
Yeah.
our educational sector. The only why we adapt English is just based on communication. That's the only thing that Nigeria adapted English. Because we have diversity of language. That's just it. Apart from that, English is overrated. English is never used to measure how intelligent a man is. It should never be. Because number one, look at in the school today. I was born and brought up in Lagos State, and I attended a school in Lagos State. In my school, they do teach Yoruba. Now, I didn't get a chance to be in the class because I'm not a Yoruba boy. I'm an Igbo guy. So now in that Yoruba class, after teaching them in their own dialects, because all of them, they are all indigenous. But most, they still fail. Why? You're teaching them what they know. Teaching them in the language they understand very well from home, but they still fail the subject. Why? And yet the people that pass the subject are people we know they are good.
People who pass
Yes,
are people who are already
you will
intelligent.
know that are good. Those people now, generally everybody
So
there.
those who failed Yoruba themselves already
They
have
are-
academic, they already have problems.
Yes, but why didn't they pass it?
Okay. Are you saying now that Yoruba is supposed to adopt Yoruba to teach other subjects like physics, government, every other thing
If
we do?
it was generally accepted, yes. Yes. Go to China. From the border, everything is in China. You buy a product, it's in China. Anything in China, what they do, they speak Chinese. They teach them in Chinese. They are born and brought up in Chinese. They teach them the same physics were being taught here in English. They teach them there in Chinese. The same thing over the Asian countries. It's the same thing. If Nigeria had a language apart from English that is accepted generally and we're being taught in that language generally, it's still the same thing. English is just like other languages used for communication.
Okay, I love that your point.
Yes.
If Nigeria had a general language,
Yes.
and then now you talked about Yoruba language,
Yes.
do you as expect someone from the east to also learn in Yoruba language, or someone from the north?
So
So we don't have a general language here. We have a language. We have a
diversity.
language diversity and discussing trouble. So this English language has really come to help.
That's-
Now, English language also is an instrument of self-expression and communication, in the sense that there's nothing you think you know.
Mhm.
If you don't know how to express yourself, if you don't
Yes.
know how to let the next person know about it, communicate it, you will still die with your ideas and your intelligence. It is true.
Okay.
Because for you to sell, even if you have a business idea, and then there are sometimes that the government will come up with say, okay, present your business proposal, and then we would give either a grant or a loan, and then you have a lot of ideas popping up in your mind. You have so much to do. You're so intelligent, and then you have no means of expressing yourself. You can't provide a proposal. You can't communicate. You can't talk to them. You can't even you can't be able to assess the whatsoever offer the government has to give. So you will die with your intelligence and everything. So for Nigeria and then some African countries where we communicate with this language is very important. It should be a test of intelligence, because that's the only means you can express yourself. That's the only way, and that's the only means by which you are taught whatsoever thing you learn.
Mhm.
Apart from local languages that some schools are adopting and teaching in schools, even with some of the people that are being taught the languages also fail. Okay, so even to the extent that Nigerians find English language easier, as in cheaper to learn than even local dialects. I've heard so many people. Yes, is that serious?
See, we're living our
And then
culture.
yeah, we're living our culture, and that's what our is maybe because of our colonial masters, and then since it's been adopted as an official language, it's like, okay, our president, he can't go up there and start speaking Yoruba to Nigerians who will even understand. If it's only Yorubas that will understand, other tribe cannot understand what he's saying.
Mhm.
So it is.
So you're saying something about the Igbo. I said, that's why I'm throwing this question to you.
Okay.
Why do Igbos still fail Igbo exam?
Because they are not used to it.
No.
No, I
I'm
will
not
explain
saying.
better.
Wait, excuse me.
And you ask the
Igbos in
question,
the-
let me answer.
Let me fix it well. Let me
Okay,
direct
ask
it well to
again
you.
if you didn't ask it well.
I made something
They
about.
fail because they don't understand
They
it.
don't
They
understand
do
it.
not. I mean Igbo people.
Mhm.
Yes,
They
now
don't
They-
I go to
understand
Now
the
I use something about Yoruba. It's not as if they don't understand Yoruba. It's not as if these people they don't understand Igbo. They are being.
So why did they fail?
It's because
Let
they are.
me explain.
See, when you're not intelligent, you're not intelligent.
No, it's not about intelligence. Let me tell you the reason
That
why.
is the truth.
Can you? Let me tell you the reason why they fail. The reason why they fail.
That is the truth.
The reason why they fail is this: the first thing they are being introduced to in school is English alphabets. A, B, C, D. They even sing it for them. They have rhymes. They have. Wait, calm down. I have to explain.
Okay.
So we are being. That's the first. That's the first language they introduce to them, because they know that the school system knows that this is what you need
Okay.
to pass other subjects,
Okay.
and then they've already been tuned. Their brain has been tuned to English language, and then they've been doing it over, and so they are used to it. And then maybe sometime and they don't start from scratch to teach all these local languages that we're talking about. I don't know if you experienced it during your own time.
That's
Yes,
Igbos.
they don't start. Not
That's
Igbos.
Igbos.
They don't start from
Not the Yorubas.
in in kindergarten now, let me say the nursery classes where they are teaching children English, ABCD, 1, 2, 3. Have you heard them teaching them Yoruba alphabets or Igbo alphabets?
Actually, in the western part,
Okay.
Yeah.
the western part, the kind of in public school, children are being introduced to mother tongue first because it is perceived that they will understand better if they are
Better.
taught in mother tongue. Like people like Kwara State,
Okay.
part of Kogi State, Kwara State, you learn the ABD first, A B D A F E D D, like that, and they teach them. And a professor from the University of Ibadan, I try to remember the name of this woman, she proposed that instructions should be in the mother tongue
And that's where
because
some systems are missing it.
because it will
That's the first thing I was
it
saying.
will improve
Their
their
understanding.
understanding of the subject matter. But then this is where I'm going. If you say English is not a measure of intelligence,
Yes.
how can you say a language where your instruction is given,
Even
you cannot speak it? Then something is wrong.
seriously.
Something is wrong with
How
that
will
person's
pass
mind.
the
If
exams?
the language, the instructions you're receiving,
Okay.
physics, maths,
Maths,
government,
chemistry.
every other subject you're receiving, is being given to you. It's being communicated. You said English is only
Yes.
communication.
Yes.
All right. How do you teach if you are not going to communicate? All right. So, English is used to communicate.
Yeah.
So, how can you tell me that you are intelligent if that same language that was used to instruct you, you couldn't
Can't speak it.
communicate in it?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. How can you tell
Right.
me you're intelligent? You cannot communicate in it.
All right.
And that's where
You
we
cannot
find
communicate
out that-
with it. This is what you are being taught every day. You write in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
The terminologies you are being taught are in
Taught.
it. Okay. Produce. Okay, you said you study physics, right?
Yes.
You study. Okay. Now, produce the law of gravity. Tell me the law of gravity in Igbo now.
Because
Or you
that
write
is
me
down.
the law of gravity
that is
in Igbo.
because we are not taught in Igbo. You don't understand. You get this point here. English is what binds Nigeria, make us come together because it's a baseline of communication.
Yeah.
In America, that the English in the UK, English is generally accepted, right?
For us here, we believe if you cannot speak English, you are not
not
intelligent.
intelligent.
Okay, that
you
is
cannot
our
reason.
belief.
Is the language of the elite.
It's overrated.
So
it's just
then, how many
overrated.
people can you see on the road who did not go to school that you can say that this person is truly intelligent? How many of them have you met? Yes. How many of them have you met? The touts, the people you meet around you
Okay.
that cannot speak English. How many of them have you been able to testify? Yes, he cannot speak English, but he is intelligent.
Really?
Have you met someone like that? And if you have, how many have you met? You can say, oh, he cannot speak English, but he is intelligent.
And, intelligence.
Because
When
if you
we-
say you are intelligent,
Okay.
see, it's a different thing to be intelligent. It's a different thing to be clever.
Okay.
That's wisdom.
Yeah.
So, intelligence has to do with academics.
Okay.
Yes, academics. It has to do with academics. So that's why I would say that you cannot say that someone is intelligent if he cannot communicate in the language of his
Right.
instruction.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes, I can agree with you that some individuals are clever. They are wise.
Yeah.
Yes, in the olden days we have people like that. We can say they are wise.
Okay.
If they give you instruction, if they advise, you just take it. But here we are talking about academics. Yes, what you read, how you apply it,
Okay.
Yes, this is what we are talking about now. And English is what we are using.
Right.
English is what you are using. So if you come now and if the English I'm speaking now is not polished, as in my grammar is upside down, nobody will listen to me.
Right.
It might have well as even shut me down. Some people will just pass by this one. Nobody will want to listen to what I have to say.
Right.
Yes, nobody will want to listen to what I have to say. So then, if you say English is not a measure of intelligence, it's not a measure of intelligence, right?
Yes.
All right. Why can't you go to one village? I don't want to be specific about any part of the country now. Why can't you just go to one village there? All right. Bring a child where they are not educated, where they don't go to school, and of course, they have another form of education.
Yes.
The part of the country I'm talking about.
Yes.
Those ones are not exposed to formal education, but they have their full kind of education. Okay, bring a child that has grown up there, all right, grown up maybe up to 15 years. Come and put him side by side with the children who can speak English.
Who can speak English?
Yes. So measure the things they are doing
He
and see
he can't really
and
perform.
measure the intelligence.
He can't really perform well, but in his own area, he will. Now, English, me being able to speak English doesn't know I know how to solve physics.
If you
get
were
me?
taught physics, you
Even
will solve
if
it.
yes, even if you were, there are
taught
many
physics,
people.
you will solve it.
Sorry, you were a
Unless
teacher,
you
right?
are a serious student.
On serious or not serious, seriousness or not, you're a teacher.
Yeah.
Everybody in your class, can they speak English?
Yes.
Sure.
Good. Is it everybody that are good? Like they are good in academics.
Not all.
Thank you.
But there are
So now those ones, let me
there are
finish.
exceptions to it.
Let me finish. Those ones out there that are not good and they know how to speak well.
Okay.
Yeah. Will you say they are intelligent just based on they can speak well?
Yes, they're intelligent, of course. The best.
As
of-
not.
No, let me explain this.
Okay.
See, now, when you come to school setting,
Alright.
you can't grade all the students at the same level. There
Alright.
are people that have low intelligent quotients.
Okay.
There are people that have high, and then they are average. Okay. When you come to that, maybe some of this IQ issue is as a result of genetics. Maybe
Alright.
inherited from the parents, and then the level of the upbringing from beginning, the foundation of their education. So what I'm trying to say is you can't use that and categorize. What we are saying is that you cannot speak English language, and there are none of them in school that cannot speak English language. There are none of them in the schools have been teaching.
Yes.
At least if I'm speaking, they are understanding.
Okay.
There won't be communication if they can't understand.
That is it. English is just a baseline for communication.
And what is life all about?
It's
What is-
communication.
What is social life all about? It's not
In
communication.
China, don't they have social life? Don't they?
They do.
They do, because Chinese is their baseline of communication. That's what English is for. We build all these things, all this mansion on English as if it's something huge. It's the same thing. I asked you a simple question. You said in your class, they all can speak English, but not all are good academically. Will you tell me those ones that are not good academically is intelligent just because he can speak? No. My elder sister is also
Yes,
a
we
teacher.
can say that they're intelligent because they can speak.
My other sister is a teacher, a mathematics and physics teacher.
Yeah.
She teaches very well. She drills them very well. But there are some blockheads who just can't get it. But they can speak English perfectly. Will you tell me that those people now, they are intelligent? And you're telling me that intelligence now is based on academics. We are calculating this intelligence now is based on their
And at
academic
the same
levels.
time, you can't say that they're not intelligent because they are not failing in other subjects. Yes. You see, in when you come to academics, there
Okay.
are some subjects that some students struggle with, and then we can't use that to judge this matter on ground now.
Okay.
Yeah, there are some students that are not good at mathematics. In fact, they are
Even apart from
brain-
mathematics.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Even
trying to say. No
apart.
matter the subject.
There are
Yeah,
some.
then those students that are not doing mathematics, go
Okay.
and check other subjects. Is it that they're not doing well in any one at
So
all?
you're telling me generally now that okay, it's like there might be one. I've seen myself that okay, this one is a dullard. Like he can't really grab things, but he knows how to speak well. I've seen many. Or in America now, in the United States, where English is a bedrock, right? You can't tell
English
me
is their mother tongue.
is your mother tongue. You can't tell me, or in England, you can't tell me that all of them are intellectuals. You can't tell me that.
Of course, everyone cannot be.
Yes,
So
but you're telling me now,
what we are-
but they can speak English even more than us.
what we are trying to say is this: there's nothing you can do, especially in this part of the country, in this part of the world, our nation, Nigeria. There's nothing you are going to sell. There's nothing you have to say if you cannot speak English language. Okay, let's assume that our next, maybe what the aspiring president that want to, that's contesting for election next year, couldn't give a polished speech, couldn't express himself, couldn't tell us.
Please don't go there.
you can imagine that.
Please don't go there.
So we can't take somebody.
Excuse me.
that-
Have you listened to one of the aspirants?
Let's not go there. So what I'm trying to say is, at least they will be able to express themselves. They'll be able to communicate, speak in the language that people will understand. And then that's how we know whether this person is intelligent, whether this person can handle some positions or not. It's true. If we are to pick up someone that can't express himself or herself, and then place
Express
the person
himself or
in-
herself in English.
in English,
Because it's a borrowed tongue.
and
It's a borrowed
whether
language.
it's borrowed or not, that is what is
It's a
reigning. That's what
borrowed-
is
it's a
selling. That's our
borrowed-
language now, and there's nothing anybody can do about it.
It's a borrowed language.
We agree.
You can't tell
Is-
me now, like in the northern part where the Western education is not that really, not everybody gets access to it. Now they are speaking Hausa. You can't tell me just because he's speaking Hausa is not intelligent.
And what are most of them doing? What do most of them end up doing in life?
Well, let me not go there.
No, let me
Because-
not go there.
No, wait, okay, let's go there. Most of them are businessmen and they are very successful.
And then some of them are
And they will
farmers.
employ the people. No,
We're not talking about being successful.
No,
in
let's-
business.
no, why-
We're
we-
talking about
about intellect.
Yes.
intellect.
It's still the same thing. You being able to reason, and my bedrock here in English is just communication. You telling me it's easy to rate how intelligent somebody is or how smart somebody is not correct for me. In England, in the US, and in other countries that state that English is their mother tongue, it's not all of them that are intelligent. Not all. Look at it today. It's we Africans, Nigerians that are going there, and we're doing it, but even better than them.
That's to tell you.
That
how
is
important
not.
it
It's not English. It is something within. If you're good, you're good. English is just a means of communication. How you can express yourself. I can express myself like this. Doesn't mean I'm super intelligent.
What?
That's just it. I can express myself. I can talk to somebody out there and blow big grammar. Doesn't mean I'm intelligent.
At the same time, if you can't express yourself, if you can't communicate, you are seen to be a non-entity.
That is in Nigeria. That is even in Africa. That's just
So what
it.
are we not talking about here?
That's in Africa. But I feel we Africans, we Nigerians, we overrate English. English should not be overrated as if, when you can't speak English, you're being looked at as a minor.
Yeah, and then there are some opportunities you can't access.
That is because of this, what we have made English look like in Nigeria. Yes.
And it's not really a bad
For
one.
me, for the outside world,
Yes,
it may
yeah.
not be a measure of intelligence.
At
but
all.
for Nigeria,
Nigeria,
it is.
it is.
Because that's the only language
That's
we
the
can
only language to
survive
understand.
with.
Okay,
That's the only language we can survive with
Imagine I getting married.
until maybe later the Western region, the Yorubas are able to maybe if we now
Agree on a particular language or
if we
split.
now if we
Mm.
now secede and the Yorubas now have
Decide
their
to-
own language, they go all the way from the beginning to interpret geography in English, use all the terms, use it in Yoruba,
Yes, it can be
says
done.
in Yoruba,
It
then
can be
Igbos
done.
create their
Their
own
own.
Yes,
the Hausas.
it can be done.
their own There'll be a lot of commotion.
No, it's
Yeah,
not
it's very
commotion.
important.
No. You people don't really understand.
So, in Nigeria, language English is the language of the elites. You cannot communicate in English.
can I
nothing.
quickly say this? The
Okay.
Bible, what language was it written on?
Initially written.
Initially written on
Okay, the Greek, Hebrew.
Greek and Hebrew.
Okay.
Now, for it, why are you not reading the Bible in Greek and Hebrew?
It was translated.
Because they want you to read it. Communication. That's the line. In Chinese there, in other countries that their Bible will be in Chinese. Yes, we have Igbo Bible
Well,
for people who speak Igbo.
Yeah,
We have the Yoruba Bible for people who speak Igbo. So you're seeing it now that English is just for communication.
so actually, we have individuals who can do addition
Yeah.
very well. Who can do addition very well. Who can reason and they do businesses. But they cannot.
productive,
Yes, they cannot
but they
speak
can't
English.
express themselves.
They do business.
What's the use of
They are
you
smart.
speaking English,
They are
but you are not
smart.
productive?
They are smart, but in the real sense, they cannot connect with the outside world.
Yeah, just it. They'll
They
just
are
be
limited because
limited.
of the English.
Mm.
They cannot speak. The only way I see it being overrated is when we want to do better than the real owners of the language. Yes, we want to adopt their culture, losing
our
our
own culture.
Exactly.
originality.
Yeah.
But this is a fact. It's a language of instruction.
Yeah.
So if it's your language of instruction and you cannot express yourself in it, then something is wrong. Yes, something is wrong. If that is a language you were used to, you were taught thermodynamics, you were taught gravity, you were taught
Motion and the
Motion.
motion, all those chemical reactions. You were taught all this in English. Then you come out there, you cannot construct a sentence straight. All right, you cannot communicate in that language. How can you tell me you're intelligent?
Hmm.
Yes, you. Why couldn't you then use your language to express those things? Why could you use your language to express those things?
You know, because they are not being taught. The physics book is in English. Don't forget.
And it can also be in Latin, right?
It can also be in
It
Latin.
can be
It can
in
also be in
French.
French. It can also
It
be
can
in
be
Chinese.
in German.
It can be in Hebrew.
It can be in Hebrew.
Because it's the same thing we've been taught here. They taught them there. It's the same thing. That's it.
So the fact that you're not speaking English is because you didn't go to because the fact that you are not intelligent is because you did not go to school, not because you did not learn
because you don't
English.
learn, you don't learn
those
English.
those ones we see that we look as if they are not intelligent is because they did not actually go to school. They were not taught, not because they cannot
Not
speak
speak
English.
English.
So if they have been taught in their mother
Even
tongue,
in their mother tongue,
they
they can.
will still have been
Do
able
something,
to
Yes.
speak
Thank
and
you.
to also defend
Themselves.
that's okay. That's right. Viewers, you have heard the opinion on both sides, right? One says English is a measure of intelligence. The other says
English
it's
is
not a measure. Why? I am trying to balance it. I'm trying to see
On the two sides.
I'm trying to see both sides. Well, then I feel that if you are taught in a language and you cannot express yourself in a language because the instruction you're given is actually in English. You were not taught in Yoruba or Hausa. So if you have been through school and you cannot communicate, then something is wrong. Yes. On the other way around, it is just that we overrate English. We overrate it. We want to bring the culture of the English into our life, losing our identity. Yes, English is our language of instruction. We are still supposed to be able to express ourselves in it and maintain our African identity.
Thank you.
All right. So thank you for staying tuned. We'd like to have your opinion. What's your take on this? Should English be a measure of intelligence or not? What's your take on this? All right, we want to have your comments, right? Let's have your opinion on this. Please subscribe. Please subscribe so that you can encourage us to do more. And if you like our topics, please give us a thumb up. I want to have a thumbs up from you. Thank you for staying tuned. My name is Lovely, and thank you, Amarachi, for coming on the show. Moses, UBA, I appreciate you for
Thank you.
your contribution. See you again next time. Until then, don't forget to subscribe.